spike in energy prices, which basically is what I believe happened in this market. In 1992, they made it important for them to loan to underqualified people. As a matter of fact, the FHA, there was a couple of congressmen or senators, whoever, anyway, they went and they said, we're going to judge banks on how they deal with lower income, underprivileged areas of town. We're going to encourage you to make these substandard loans. Well, they started making it. Well, what happened in 2005, 6, and 7, when you had these people that were doing subprime loans, naturally somebody took advantage of it. You have people doing subprime loans, okay? You have people in escalator clauses in their loans, all this stuff, and then you have oil prices in a period nationally, in a period that doubled in a period of less than 12 months. Well, the guy that was barely scraping by now had to deal with an electric bill that was $500 instead of $200. Now had to deal with a tank of gas with $75 instead of $30. All of these things happened. What happened? He couldn't make his house payment. He was barely making it. So the things that got him to work. Well, then he loses his job because the guy that owns the Service Master or whatever he was working at said, look, I've got to keep my business open. My energy costs, my fuel costs have gone up. Where can I cut? I've got to cut people. So we had a perfect storm of economic conditions, oil prices, priced with greed in a marketplace to get everybody into a home. All right? If you had a pulse, you could buy a home. Remember those, Gene? So you combine those two, it built from 92 all the way to 2005, 6, 7, right in there, and then the crash happened. So you had a 15, 16-year period where if energy prices would have stayed, if a gallon of gas would have stayed at under $2, $1.50, $1.60, we would not have had the crash that we had. There's no way. But you have a perfect storm because you can hide a few loans. If you got 0.5% of your mortgages defaulting, it's no big deal. But when it went from 0.5% to 1% of your loans defaulting every year to 5%, that's a big number. That's a real big number. So banks were going under. Everybody was going under. The market shifted drastically, and it was up to us to shift with it. And a lot of us did. Keller Williams, we did here. Y'all did. My goodness, I was fortunate enough to come here right after the shift, and you guys were gearing up. And I've never been so proud in my life to see people go, what do we need to do to thrive, not just a house that won't sell. Listings are the inventory in your real estate store. Everybody in this room has a real estate store. Listings are the inventory in your real estate store. And just like bread, milk, eggs, I won't say cheese, some cheese, I guess, right? It has an expiration date on it. 6-month listing, 1-year listing, whatever you do. Okay? It has an expiration date. If you overprice the milk and the eggs and the bread, it's going to expire. And it's going to be worthless, and it's going to be soured, and it's going to be moldy, and it's going to be no good for anybody in the marketplace. In the meantime, you've wasted resources. You've had to talk to this customer every week and explain to them why their house didn't show or didn't sell or didn't do any of these things. The most important thing that you can do right now is go after listings in this shifting market because you have the solutions. Every agent at this office has a solution for a customer that needs to sell a house. We're up in a market where everybody else is down 4%. We're up 66%, which means we're outperforming the market by 62%. And if we're outperforming the market by 62%, what do you think we could do on your home? The reason we do that is because we price homes right, we sell them, we help you recognize your dream, get out of your problem, move on. Whatever it is you desire, our goal is to help you attain those things. That's the hardest thing for some realtors to understand. All right? They want to drive around. I call them Gucci realtors. They want to drive around in their BMW or their Cadillac. And they're like, yeah, this is the way I do things. This way, okay? The realtors that make the money in this time get their hands dirty. They stay involved with their customers. They stay in touch with their customers. And they relearn the habits they learned when they first got in the business. You first got in the business, remember how excited you were when somebody called just to look at a rental? Oh my God, they called on a rental. I'm going to make $250. Woo, I'm on board. At some point in your career, no, I don't mess with that. I'm too busy. Every customer is $1 million customer. You've heard me say this a bunch. Has the potential to either buy or refer to you in their lifetime $1 million worth of business. See, if you treat them all special, what's going to happen? You got $1 million worth of business. Well, $1 million worth of business translates to $30,000 in commission. How many of those do you need every year to make a nice living? many as you can get. So in a shifting market, it's more important than ever to lead generate.